Just on our way to the next explore. I've heard about this place for many a year. I've always been one to try to get to it, but something else has always come up, and this is the road that you have to go down. We are actually going to go have a look at the Maldon to Dombarton, a road to nowhere. They built this bridge, I think from the railway line, back in the early 80s, 1983, and by 1988, for some reason, they put a halt to the project. So what we might do is, once we get up a little bit further, I might have a little bit of a read about it and see why they stopped it. Over here is the skydiving place. This is just off Picton Road, I think. I've got Lorraine in front of me sussing the road out. My little MPS, my little turbo, doesn't like roads like this. It's going to need a big clean. Okay, so I've got a gate up here, so Lorraine did say we may have to stop, and we've got about a 3-kilometre walk in. So this is where we're going to pull up. She did say that gate up there sometimes is open, but today it looks like we're going to have to do the hard slog. I'm really looking forward to this one. Oh, she's going to go see if it's open actually. So just parked here on the little dirt road next to the Sydney skydivers. You can see all these guys coming in if you drive down the Hume Highway. So the Hume Highway is just up here. We actually turned off onto this dirt road from Picton Road. And how many k's down, you reckon? 3 kilometres? From where? From here to walk down to the bridge? Oh, yeah. Yeah, about a 3k walk down there. See if I can get any more skydivers coming down, but a plane has just either come in or just taken off. There was a whole bunch of them that came in together, but there doesn't seem to be any now. Now they've landed over there in the distance, and they've just picked up their parachutes and walking back in. I think that was the last of them. So what we'll do, we'll go do this bridge first, and then on the way back we'll stop and see if we can get some skydivers coming in to land. Okay, so you've got one obstacle. The rain's jumping over. You've got one obstacle here, is jumping over this very low fence. There are no signs saying no trespassing private property or anything, so you know, we're just doing a bushwalk. It's got this fence in our way for a bushwalk. Yeah, for our bushwalk. So we've got a master lock. This is what they use on the railway, so it's got a railway sign here. So whatever railway this was used on, they've taken it from there and put it on this one. We've got an ABUS pin tumbler lock, and we've got an Abloy Finland disc detainer lock. These are very, very secure locks, those ones. No, it's beautiful. So it's the road to nowhere to the bridge to nowhere. So was it a rail bridge or a car bridge? It was going to be part of a railway line. A railway line, that's what I thought, yeah. Why do they just call it a bridge to nowhere, not a rail bridge to nowhere? Strange. Can I get over here? Actually, can you? I thought the railway line started down at Dombarton. Can you hold that while I'm... Down underneath. No, face around the other way. That way. Ah, good, eh? Now you can see it. Move down that way a bit. Sweet. Oh, I was going to do that. I thought this was going to move. Once upon a time, I would have high jumped that. Yeah, those were the 50, days. Not anymore. So you're going to have a very noisy walk along this road with the Hume Highway, but that's the easiest way to get to it. So if you're coming from outskirts of Sydney, hit the Hume Highway as you're heading towards Canberra. Yeah, heading towards Canberra, and it will be on your right. We always notice these skydivers when we have done Goulburn and Mittagong and a few of these other places. We always see these guys land. So we shouldn't have too many problems getting to this bridge. You can see our cars just in the distance there, and we have come across this might be old, this sign. How old do you reckon this sign is? I doubt this has been put up recently. So So it says in the distance there, site of the Malden to Dombarton Freight Rail Link Corridor. And that's the bridge to nowhere. So what's happened is they built it on one end and they built it on the other end, and there's this massive gap smack bang in the middle. And when we get a bit close, I'll explain to you why they stopped construction of it. But they actually done a feasibility study in 2012, and I think recently again, to see if any private sectors want to take it on, but there's no money in it for them. How they're going to recoup spending money to complete it? It's not like building a tollway where you're going to recoup your money. If a private company completes this, how are they going to get their money back? You know, I don't think they'll be charging the freight trains or the coal companies. But yeah, I've seen videos of this place. I had no idea where it was, and to think it's down this little, whoa, hiding in the bushes here. To think it's down this little dirt track, right on an ant's nest, along the Hume Highway. Yeah, is that a rail corridor or not? That might be the rail corridor. Oh, that's a bad idea. Let's get down a little bit further and we'll see. There's a big ditch in there. It looks like that's where it may have ended, just here. If we can get past the shrub up here, we'll see if it does. Because I was asking Lorraine, is this the rail corridor here? But I don't think so. It looks like it might be down there. It looks like there's a nice ditch in there.
Like a cutaway?
Yeah, it looks like a cutaway, absolutely. See if we can find somewhere where someone has walked through. There's a little bit of a track there. What do you reckon? Was there a little creek here, or what did you fall into?
Just a drainage ditch on the side of the road.
Let me see if I can get over here. This doesn't look too bad. Yeah, come over. As long as I don't fall into anything. No, it just looks like a service road there. Actually, it's like another little road that you can walk on here. You know, it comes to an end. That's where they'd have those, you know, where the trains stop and they hit against those things. I forget what they're called there. What are they called, those things with the big, looks like bells?
Another sideway.
Yeah, sideway, yeah, that's right. It's probably a place to put a train when the train was heading down this way. I don't think this will ever get completed. But that's what it was dug out for, I'd say, definitely.
It's pretty cool novelty.
A train line. Do you want to head, can we head down? Do you want to head over there and see if we can cross back down again over to this side? As long as we don't kill ourselves down here. Let's see what's over here. Is this muddy? Yeah, see, this looks enough for 2 tracks. Bunting. It's called bunting when they, or shunting. I think it's bunting. Oh, this is definitely for railway. Look at the embankment there. The way it slopes down like that. Doesn't that look like a railway? Enough for two lines in here. To get that far in, to build the bridge on one end on the Dombarton side and to build the bridge on the Malden side, they would have had to have started to do things on this end. We've got water here. Lorraine, maybe head up here. That's it, they're coming for us. Drones have signalled there's people on private property. That's what? Oh, Dombarton's all the way down there. Yeah, but on the other side of this bridge, that's the Dombarton side. That's where it would have been coming up from. Okay. That's what I'm thinking. Because it says here Malden. Malden to Dombarton. Otherwise it would say Dombarton to Malden if that was the case. Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't know if we should go down there. I think we should go back up to the track. I don't know where this leads us. It looks pretty soggy down there. We go up to the dirt track. We're safe, a lot safer up that way. You can get a few pictures there of the hillside in the distance. That's nice. We have decided to walk down what we think may have once been a railway corridor, or to be built into a railway corridor, but it's now an animal corridor because the amount of poop that we see here. So this is now, the animals use this. Have a look at the poop around here, all right? They're coming to feast on the grasses in the middle here, so there's plenty of poop.
So the access track that we're on just goes.
Just goes, okay, cool.
Yeah.
So we'll just walk down here.
Anytime we get too uncomfortable, we can just pop up and get back on it.
All right, I gather a lot of the explorers that have come down to see this bridge, I don't think they come down here. They probably
No,
they stay on the track. So we're going to actually do a bit of filming down here just to show you what this looks like. But for it to be cut out like this, my guess would be this would have been the train line. It's not too bad. It's a little bit muddy, but she's okay. Yeah. Well, put it this way, it's been excavated for a reason. You know, there's no way this is a natural ditch.
This was definitely where the rail track was.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking too. Looking at the sloping sides, this is definitely excavated. You know, we don't know 100% if it was for the railway, but what else would it be for if we're actually walking down to the railway bridge? So.
I'm suggesting we don't walk through that.
Yeah.
It's going to be a slog.
It looks a bit...
So we'll just leg it up here and get back on
Yeah,
the access track.
up over here looks like, so we'll go up here and then we'll hit the tracking. All right, if anyone's thinking of doing this, go down there and get a little bit muddy if you like. Risk it, but we're going to head back onto the track. So.
Come during the droughts. When they
Yeah, come during the drought and you'll have a clear path down. We just got a sky diving plane land. There's a couple of others coming down. We have just decided to take a few pictures underneath the site of the Malden to Dombarton Freight Rail Link Corridor. You can hear them. I know, that's the funny thing. When they jump out of the plane, you can hear their parachute flapping. They make a big noise. There's that guy coming down in the land. I don't know how well that's coming out on the camera. Just seems to be two of them. Just taking a picture of this cricket here. See if I can get right on him. I don't even know if it's a cricket. I'm guessing. What a beautiful little creature. Let's see how close I can get before he moves away. And as we're walking down this track here, we found another sign that says Passing Bay. So there's more and more clues that there was a rail line. There may even been a rail line there and it may have been dug up. So maybe the tracks were laid. There's a very old sign that says Passing Bay. So maybe two trains pass one another right there. Oh, Lorraine's doing a Jules on me. She's just taken off. Let's go and catch her. We can no longer see the cars in the distance. Can see a sign on the Hume Highway. You should see the top of a truck going past where that sign is. And Lorraine's just informed me that we have walked 1 kilometre. So I've got about another 2 to go and we have another gate. This one I think will be locked as well, so we're going to have to do another climbing mission. So if anyone's thinking about doing this, you'll have a little dirt road next to the skydivers, Sydney skydivers. Park on the left where you see the gate, jump the first gate, you've got 1 kilometre walk until the second gate. There you go, I think this one's not even locked. This is the one that you see like out in the outback where drovers just go from one property to another and then they just open the gate, allow themselves through and lock it back up again. So the second gate will require no climbing. Tell you what, those horses up there, and there's a fair few of them, as we're walking down the track, geez, they were curious. I don't think they see too many people walking down this track. They're even looking at us now. Some of these ones that are under the tree here are looking at us. Nothing on this end. Miles and miles of barbed wire fences that have gone up. Just down here we've got another little gate. Short little stroll from one to the other, and this one's open. So we won't face a problem with this one. There's the cutting again, or the embankment. It's like there should be a tunnel under here. You may go up a little bit of a hill and then go down again. Maybe, yeah, I don't know. But that over there looks exactly like we... Yeah, yeah. Yep. And there's always something. Yeah, that's understandable. So once again, you've got a flat little bit of grass there where the horses were grazing, and then it just drops down into this ditch again, slope ditch, railway corridor. And it just goes and then peters out and then goes flat again. I have to get on Google when I get home and find the entire history on this place. There you go, you get a good view now of the cars in the distance and trucks cruising along the Hume Highway. What a cracker of a day, eh? You've done well. The rain's brought sunshine the 2 days that we've caught up, and tomorrow's meant to be pouring, so luckily she can only get Fridays off, which is a work day. If we had it organised tomorrow as you'd normally do on a weekend, I think we'd be saturated. We can see a lot of horse manure, especially along this dirt track over here, so this we might be on private property at the moment. Once again, there's some more dung there. Once again, we can't see any signs, so if we are on private property, we have no idea if we are or not. But no matter what happens, no matter who's firing at us or who stops us and says turn around, we are going to get this bridge in. We are now in cow and bull territory. We've got a little calf in the distance there. See how interested they are. Look at this one running away. They're not used to people.
It's not just feelings, they can fly.
They can what?
They can fly, run away.
Oh, will they? As long as they don't charge us. This guy.
We don't want them to charge us.
Look how fat this guy is. Oh, she's. Yeah, you reckon she's pregnant?
Yep.
No.
And thing is, if they do try
Yeah.
and run,
yeah,
and they damage themselves,
yeah. Well, this one I think knows that we're not any threat.
that the owner can come up.
These little ones, that one was a little one as well, but these little ones here, yeah, this one's running.
We don't want them doing that actually.
Yeah, well,
because they can get hurt.
makes good video.
And they're worth about $3,000 each.
Are they?
Yep.
Wow. Still looking. That one over there was all the way out here, the black and white one, and it's run all the way in where it's safer. These guys are in the shade over here.
They can run and have some sort of sobbing and
Yeah, and this goes to show you how many humans they see. They don't see a lot. We've passed a few more gates that have no gates on them, and the rain has told me that as soon as you start seeing the power line, so the first power line starts from here, see the cables holding it up, dug into the ground. As soon as you come across these power lines, walking across down the track here, you're not too far away from the bridge. So there's the first one, and we just follow these down, and we're probably a K away now. It's starting to get a little bit shadier, which is good because it's quite hot. I think it's meant to be 26 today. 26, 27. But so far we've had no problems. I don't know what it'd be like bringing a whole family down here. I don't know if people will be watching you from up top or one of the farms from around here, but if you've got It'd be great to bring the kids, but I don't know how responsible it is to bring them, because you can only imagine if you get pulled up by someone, they'll have a go at you, bringing children down here, teaching them bad things. Okay, we're coming up to the bridge to nowhere, so to speak. I actually copy and pasted a little piece on Messenger here that I'll read out to you, and it'll give you some idea of what this is all about. So, the Dombarton railway line commenced construction in December 1983. So that would have been when I first started high school. 83 was the year I started high school, with the project being cancelled in June 1988. So bicentennial year, I would have been in year 12, although I left in year 11. Due to an economic downturn and the forecast growth in coal traffic not eventuating. By this time, around 25 kilometres of earthworks such as major cuttings and embankments had been completed and ballast had been installed. Following a feasibility study, contracts for pre-construction works were awarded in December 2012. The government of New South Wales is currently running a registration of interest process seeking market interest to oh yeah, I do too. To construct, operate and maintain the line. No respondent was found to be capable of constructing, operating and maintaining the proposed railway line on a commercially sustainable basis without New South Wales government funding. And that's how it remains today. And down here, where'd you see the goats? Yeah, down here. Are they wild, do you reckon? So they've taken off, you reckon? No, not really. Did you see that zigzag railway video from 2020, I think we did with Jules, and we're down there at Bottom Point Station. There's a couple of goats that came straight up to us.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's incredible. Yeah, these have gone. They were just here. There's a whole bunch of them. Look at that. So at the top of that hill is a railway bridge, and on the other side is another railway bridge, and in the middle it's just empty. The Nepean River. Really? So we could head down to Jules's place. We could get in her kayaks and actually cruise on under it. I might mention that to her. Oh, is that the problem? Oh, that might be a bit of an issue. This will give you an idea of the slope, having to walk up to this railway bridge. I'm huffing and puffing a little bit, it's pretty hot. And there's no access stopping you. You can walk straight down the guts or walk on the edge. I think we'll walk on the edge, and that way we can film down below it. How crazy is this? Unbelievable. The only thing that I can compare this to, if anyone's my vintage 40s, 50s, and they remember the show Chips, it used to be two LAPD officers filmed in Los Angeles. Back when they started filming in 1977, 78, a lot of the freeways around Los Angeles, LA there, they were constructing. So you see a lot of this in the background shooting of that show. And the only other thing I can compare to it is from the movie Speed, where Keanu Reeves is, or who is it, Sandra Bullock is behind the wheel of the bus, and Keanu is sort of like beside her there. So you can get below it as well. Look at the rocks there. There is a track below it to see the pylons. We might do that, considering we're here. But this is another return trip because this place is just made for drones. So I told Mavericks that I was coming to do this, and he was a little bit jealous because he had to work today. But he will be joining me on another mission. So what I might do, there we go, so we've got animals. I know these are little, off these trees. So the little nuts or whatever they are have been blown over onto the footpath here. Here comes Lorraine. So 2.6 kilometres, yeah? 2.6 k's from that first gate where we parked. And there's those power lines I told you about where they start. So as soon as the power lines start back up that track, you know you're not too far away. It's not a hell of a lot of graffiti, so not too many people have come here. It is a bit out of the way for people to walk on down. God, it's a nice drop down there. Tell you what, Mavericks won't like this. Mavericks will be walking there. He doesn't like heights. So he'll be walking in the centre here. There's no way he'll be walking up here. He'll be stuck in the head spins. Oh, look at that. It's a nice gap. There's one of the pylons there. I didn't even notice the gaps in the middle. Did you notice the gaps? Yeah. Oh, you've been taking photos of the gaps? I'm going to actually walk on that little skinny section on the way back. I don't think there's any reason to walk down the guts. So we're nearing the end of the Maldon side, and Menangle, I think she said. Did you say it was Menangle on the other side? Menangle? Menangle, yeah, so. That's what? Skippies? Why, did you see some kangaroos? I can't see any skippies at the moment. So Menangle is on the other side, and that's private property. There's the bridge on the other one, which is a lot shorter. I would love to get over there as well. Oh, that bug stank. Oh, I remember those bugs. I haven't had one of those for a long time. Okay, so we've got a bit of graffiti down here. Right on there. So it's like a lookout. This is incredible. The railway bridge to nowhere. Got all these pylons. On the road to nowhere. And some of these people working on this back in the 80s would have been, what, in their 50s? That's 40 years on. They would have passed on. They would be no longer around. They wouldn't have been alive to see this can be completed. I wouldn't do what I'm doing here if I was you kids. Okay, so we've got some spray paint cans down the bottom there. So if we were to head under this bridge, I'd say we'd see a lot more graffiti. There's the mighty Nepean. What's down there, Lorraine?
That's Picton Road.
Yeah. Okay, there's Picton Road down there. So if you are heading along Picton Road, don't know which way you're coming, left or right, but
Well, if you're heading toward Picton from Wollondilly,
yeah,
then to your right
to your right.
is Picton.
Okay.
And that really cute mountain range in front of us is the Razorback mountain range.
Here,
Yeah.
the Razorback. So that's only a small piece over there. It's just one massive pylon. It's got so people have got over there because there's graffiti on the bottom of it. So how would you suggest? You say it's on private land. Is there a road to it?
I suggest you don't.
Yeah.
Because, it is
Oh, it's someone's private property. Oh, okay. I wonder if you can cross the river. Long way down. But I reckon you could cross the river.
Nothing is impossible.
Yeah, I reckon you could cross the river and do it that way.
And there's tracks all underneath the bridge to get down.
Oh!
I think
That was not kosher.
if you have a very close look at this river down here,
Yeah.
you can see how high the water got. And I'm suggesting it got up to about 25,
Over here.
30 metres
Yeah,
high down that gorge. And even when you look down the gorge where the sun is shining on the side, see the dark brown,
yeah, yeah.
see lighty green.
Yep, yeah.
That's how high during the last water flood
Yeah.
the water got in this gorge. Crazy.
Absolutely crazy.
But can you see down there? See where the colour changes?
Yep.
On that face, that rough face?
Yeah.
Goes from dirty brown and
Yeah.
goes to green.
Yeah.
That's how high the water got.
Yeah, no. Imagine that's the time to come here when it's heavy rains, so you can see what it's like when it floods down there. Ooh. That's a nice drop. There's those electrical cables. So, would those electrical cables be used for anything? Yeah, but wouldn't they be built for this, or are they powering up the farms around here?
I really don't know.
Yeah.
They're in such big nick, and you think if they were built in the 80s and then they decided they didn't need them,
Yeah.
would they keep it all right up like that?
Yeah, no, true. Very true.
I sincerely don't know,
Yep.
but 40 years on, would they be like that?
Yeah, they would have pulled them down by now, you're right. I think they will be active. So someone's stickers here, that's explored here. Doesn't actually say anything. Well, if it does, I can't freaking read it. There's one on there. Now look how high up someone's got to put a sticker. That guy has no fear of heights. If I can block the sun out, up there. That's a fair way up. So he stood here. That would have been quite a tall gentleman. He would have been 6 foot plus to get that sticker up there. No, that's just the smiley face. Some tag sticker, Ruby or something. But he's actually stood on there. Yeah, full of rain. So all these holes as well are just drain holes right to the bottom. That's a good game to play. Stand up here, throw some tennis balls down, see if the guy down there can catch them. And if I lived in the area and was struggling for things to do, I'd be here all the time. And you can make a nice little bowling alley here. Speed, that's all I can think of, speed, although that's a little bit longer than the one portrayed in the movie where the bus jumps over. Spray cans all down there. Do you want to go underneath the bridge or not? I might leave that with Mavericks. I'll do that with Mav, because when I come with Mav, yeah, no, we'll leave that with Mavericks, that's all right. Because I've still got another, I said at the start of today, I've got a triple treat of adventures, so we've still got another one to go. So. No, we'll go do Picton now. I think that's the way to go. We've got a freight train in the distance. You might just be able to pick it up through the bars there. If I keep quiet, it might come through the camera. So if we were on the other side there, we'd be able to get a nice clear video of that. Oh, I did something that I shouldn't have done. I was up on here and I wanted to get one of these pictures where, you know, where they do this Toyota ads where they jump up in the sky and they get them, you know, a fair way up off the ground. But I went to jump off here and I jumped up high, but I do not have the springs in my ankles that I once had when I was young, and that hurt. Hopefully the pictures will turn out okay, because I hope that I didn't do it for nothing. Alright, well, that's another one down, and that's another one off the list. The Malden to Dombarton, a railway bridge to nowhere. Completed. You got these, it's funny, these little sinkholes are the ones that you have in your bathroom. Stick your head over there.
Yeah, that's right.
No, over here, this one.
Oh!
Yeah, look at that. It's all fancy.
That's quite a nice little front.
Little plasticky ones. This one's been broken, so someone has taken.
But I do think come back here for a couple of hours.
Yeah. Like I said, I'll have to get Matt.
Getting the drone to go down.
Oh yeah.
The gorge and
Well, Mav will do the. He's pretty good at flying the drone, so he'll get it where.
What's the range on his drone?
Not too sure. I don't know any of that technical stuff, but he's pretty good at flying it, so I'm sure he'll be able to get it going through underneath the bridge. And you know, with me up here and the drone coming up, it's going to look quite spectacular. So if anyone's got a drone, if anyone's looking at doing this walk and you have got a drone, this is a must do. It's an absolutely must do. You could actually just walk where Lorraine's walking at the moment and just fly your drone overhead and just film your walk down on the drone instead of holding a camera like I've done. Look at all the rocks that they've used as support. Would have loved to have been around when construction started. I think 1981 they got the approval, and then it commenced in 83. And that's what happens 5 years down the track, an economic downturn in the coal industry, and they thought it was less expensive to not finish it. You know, it's amazing.
The coal at Dombarton mine wasn't the quality they thought it was going to be.
I think that's what it was. Okay. Well, I can't see this ever going to be ever opened again. There's no way. Why would it be ever opened again? If that's why it was in the first place, through coal, and we're trying to get away from coal these days, unless they build a road straight through the farms, of like a car road, but you know, this doesn't make sense to have cars along here. Unless you open it up for a tourist attraction, but it's too far away from the Hume Highway. Like, who's going to walk down here unless you have little carts that bring people down? That's the only thing where I think the New South Wales government can recoup a little bit of money, if they open it up as a tourist attraction and charge, you know, a gold coin or $5 admission fee and tell people.
I think they don't have to charge anything. I mean, look what they've done with the Luxton Bridge, right?
Yeah.
That's a place you go walk about.
Yep.
And you can make that walk as long as you want. You can go up to Lucasville platform and station. You can go down under the old viaduct.
Yeah. I'm just wondering how they would recoup the money that they've lost on this. They would never. I think this is just money that's lost. You would never recoup whatever you've spent on here. No one's going to take this on. The only other thing to do is dismantling. But why would you dismantle? There's no reason to dismantle. It just costs more money.
Why not just open it up for people to go for a walk?
True, that's another thing. It's a fair way though, you know, not everyone is not going to be able to get here, so. Okay, well, that's it. That's the second adventure down for today. I don't know if you can see in the distance there, but the parachuters are coming down. We'll have a little bit more footage when we're closing or nearing back to the car. But for now, that's the Melbourne to Dombarton Bridge. So we're just passing these cows and bulls again. I'll tell you what, they are so interested in us. I don't think they're all that happy. It's like they haven't seen humans before. And there's a huge bull in the distance there with a hump on him. He's the one that's making all the noise.
We've got some calves too.
Yeah, there's some calves there. But yeah, these guys haven't seen a lot of... I love that.
What's the time?
That's what?
What's the time?
I know, about 1 or 2 o'clock. Why? And that completes the journey to the bridge to nowhere. We've just seen a plane go up before. I'm looking for these skydivers coming down, but I can't see them. Well, that's a wrap. It's a successful day. Whew. Very tired legs. Done some walking today. It's not an easy... If you do this walk on its own, it'll take a little bit out of you, but considering we walked all around, here we go, they're on the intercom over here. We walked all around the dairy farm this morning. It's really taken it out of us. Have a bit of a break here before we head off. There's no parachutists coming in. I was hoping to capture them, but there's nothing here. Alright, that's it. Thanks for joining us. Until we meet again. Adios. Alright, we've just hopped in the car. They're all coming down. It might be against the sun, but you should get an idea of all the skydivers popping on down. We haven't really timed them very well today. Oh, that guy's flying. I don't know if that came through the camera. There's another one up there. I better watch where I'm going because the road is pretty bumpy up here.